Then we have to take the dishwasher out, and I'm going to square off the kitchen with this wall right here at the edge of the sliding glass door, down and over. I'm going to cut out the laminate tile or laminate flooring, and then we're going to put in tile. And then between the tile and the existing laminate flooring, I'm just going to put in some transition strips. They're shorter than what I wanted, so I'll have to scarf two together to get this long run. And then we'll just do a 45 cut on the end where they meet, just like we would with baseboard. Anyway, so we'll tile this area in, and I'll tile underneath here, but I have a feeling this dishwasher is not serviceable, so it's probably going to go by the wayside. But we'll clean this area up and make it more finished, so if someone wants to put another dishwasher in there, they can. And the reason I'm doing this is because of the water damage. I mean, I don't have to, but I think it's going to add a little bit of value. It's not a heck of a lot of labor and cost. I think for the tile, the transition strips, the grout, the mortar, it was like $159, maybe $169, I can't remember, and plus my own labor. Well, as you can see, I got the dishwasher disconnected and out of here. I confirmed, yes, it was leaking somewhere in the pump area, and I wasn't going to mess with it. I'm sure it's over 20 years old, so it's gone. And then this cabinet, at one time, it probably had doors, had a base, might have had a shelf. Not sure what was going on in here, but I can see where someone has cut the back of the cabinet, probably to access the tub plumbing, because the tub's right on the back side here. And yeah, it's drywall. So they did a really lousy job of cutting through here to access whatever they had to do back there with the tub, and did a lousy job of cutting this open period to put the dishwasher in. So I think, yeah, I'm going to clean it up. The tile's going to flow underneath. And then I think I'm going to put a sheet of plywood right here to square this off. Or if I can get this off completely. It's got another board, baseboard here. So if I can take this board off, this off, yeah, then I'll leave this side piece and clean that up. This one here, if I can separate it cleanly, I might, just to make it look good. And then we'll do the Kills paint thing. So future people can either leave it as a dishwasher receptacle or reconfigure it back to a cabinet or an open storage of some type. Man, I don't know what people do. I mean, that's just like something a 9-year-old would do. It's crazy. So we'll be back. All right, we got the floor cut. The Dremel Ultra Saw worked pretty darn good. I just set the depth based on the edge over here, and went just a little bit shy so I didn't hit the concrete underneath, and it worked out good. And one thing to note, this house has been empty for quite some time, about 4 months, and the previous tenant had not used this dishwasher for, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, and yet this is still wet. It's still soaked. So it's like a carpet pad. Once water gets in there, it's not coming up until you can get it out of there and expose it to air. So it's kind of nasty. But these pieces are coming up exactly as they should. So that means the previous people who installed them didn't use adhesive. I was kind of worried about that. So, alright. Put this camera down. I get the rest of this stuff done. Well, I got this mess of particle board / OSB out. I just took it 7 inches back from the front. I'll do a little bit more cleanup on it tomorrow. I'll put a little bit more bracing on it. Then I'll drop a top in on it to flush up with this. Looks like it's 3/4 of an inch, which is a shame because I only got half. So I'll have to go buy some repair board. Anyway, this is what happens when it gets wet. This crumbles to absolutely nothing. So this is what I'm going to put underneath of a sink. Right. Yeah, I had to do more surgery to get rid of the rotten wood. So now I got a little bit more to replace. So get this cleaned up and get a little bit more bracing underneath this one section. And cut another piece to get in there. Yep. It has to get worse before it gets better. Needs to be done. Replace that bit of drywall. I've got some green board. Be better than nothing. Got the floor in over here. I'm going to be tiling underneath here, so I just need a base. Not particularly concerned about how pretty it looks at this moment. Tile's going to go in on top with adhesive. We'll be back. Alright, well, the way I figure it, at some point someone is going to need to get access to the plumbing again. So I'm not going to close it up with drywall and paste it and tape it and all that stuff. It just makes no sense to have someone ruin it. So what I'm going to do is just put a piece of plywood over it, and I might caulk it, I don't know, but paint it with the back of the wall, and then put that side piece back in, and I think we'll call it good at that point. Probably need to get a box up there for the hanging wires for the dishwasher. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, that one's in place. Like I said, I still need to get a box on there. Why these people do those things, I don't know. And you can see an example of basically the very ugly linoleum that used to be in the kitchen. Still underneath the countertop. Anyway, got this sealed up. Gonna caulk it up and paint it, and we're good. And to finish it off, just put a little electrical box in here. The kind with the wings that attach to the drywall. And I'll just fashion a little plate on here. And we'll call it good. Then I'll start building this back in to the size of a normal dishwasher. We'll be back. Alright, well, here's basically the finished product. Just got some paint on the inside. Put a little box up there with the cover for the electrical connection. And I did put the trim on the bottom just to cover up some ugliness. Not that anyone's ever going to see it. I built a little plywood box here. Put an edge trim on there. I don't expect it's going to stay. It's just... I gotta reference my paper here. It's probably about 24 by 24 1/4 from plywood to plywood, and this is going to eat up at least 1/4. So yeah, that might be enough room for a dishwasher in there without pulling that trim piece off, but if they got to pull it off, so be it. And I've already laid out the tile to get an idea of where I want to start, and I want to start with this row and this row of center. So centerpiece will be right in this area. And I did that to make sure I don't have any extremely small cuts on the ends. I've got at least 5 to 6 inches as a minimum, so it won't look too bad. So that'll be my center Then I'll just flow out from there. And I've already cut the transitions. Well, first off, I cut the transition track, and I got it in place as a space keeper for the tile. And I went ahead and cut the transition strips themselves. I put a little scarf joint here to try to match them up. I'll probably put some adhesive on that once I get them in place after I get the tile done. I got a little 45 over here. And then that little bit of ugliness will be covered by a little piece of trim after I get the tile, of course, done. Well, this is after the first tub of thin set. And I started kind of late, so it's a bit dark outside. So I think I call it quits for today and finish it off tomorrow, hopefully. Or at least get the rest of the whole plates laid, which is not really a lot. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 5 plates, 6. Then after that, it's all cuts. We'll be back. All right, I got all the cuts made. I've dry fit them plus the rest of the full plates in, just to make sure everything's the way I want it. Now I just got to mortar it all in, thin set. So I think it's going to come out pretty good. All right, back in a couple hours. And here's the floor after it's been cleaned, and the little transition strip's been placed in the slot. I think it came out pretty good. Definitely better than what it was, with the laminate flooring damaged here from the dishwasher, water damaged. So I'm quite happy with this.